Hello everyone, Vulgarity from Sonoff here. This is yet another solo video that probably won't do anything, but I still want to make it for like the 4 people who will watch this. Berserk is one of the most iconic and famous mangas out there, and for good reason. The story is very emotional, captivating, and life-changing, at least for me. But what I've said has been said millions of times before. Berserk equals peak fiction. But despite it being one of the greatest mangas of all time, there is an issue with recommending it to people. You may ask, why? Why is this highly appraised manga so hard to read, let alone recommend? I'll tell you why. First, to understand Berserk, you need to understand Seinen. Seinen is a category of manga like shonen, where shonen is stuff like One Piece, Dragon Ball, Naruto, and hell, even Jujutsu Kaisen. Seinen is a style of manga that's mainly centered for demographics of adults that are in their 18 to 25 range. It usually tackles more complex and mature themes like war, trauma, sexuality, politics, psychological depths like meaning, purpose, and pain. It's not as linear as shonen. Berserk is a seinen manga and shares a lot of these traits. Berserk is not trying to inspire you, it's trying to challenge you. Guts isn't a hero because he goes Super Saiyan and beats the racist alien. He's a hero because he suffers through so much, and despite that, he keeps pushing onward. He isn't a hero because he wins, he's a hero because he keeps walking. That's seinen. Now, I understand that at first glance, when you hear me say that the gore in Berserk is another reason you should be wary of recommending this to people, you might think, bro, I watch horror movies, I'll be good. Unless you binge watch the Terrifier series while drinking from a Heinz glass bottle of ketchup without making a face, Berserk's gore is gonna linger in your brain. We aren't talking about decapitations and limb severing, no, we are talking about literally torturing people graphically, all in the name of the Lord. We are talking about boobs being but in all seriousness, this is a small point, but if the person you're recommending this to is kinda iffy on gore, or they have, bad reactions to blood, I'd steer clear. This part is a little hard to discuss, especially since I am ill-equipped to get into the nitty-gritty of why it's in there. But it would be unfair and dishonest to just completely ignore it. So, to put it simply, violence is a tool for storytelling. Now, as much as I believe that it does get a little gratuitous when you see a literal fucking horse doing this stuff, I think that everything in the Lost Children arc and behind services the story decently well. It isn't there for shock value, it's to show how truly heinous some people can be in this world. This is the main reason why people don't read or watch Berserk, and honestly, I don't blame you. It's hard to read the Eclipse, and even when I rewatch the 97 anime and the Golden Age arc, I usually skip over the Eclipse because it's that unsettling. Unfortunately, this is also a good segue to talk about how some pockets of the Berserk community can be really nasty. Like 4chan level gross. I made a video once about how Griffith basically tells Guts that he wants him, and Griffith never denies Guts after Guts is like, "Are you a homo?" And someone commented saying, "He never says no." And some fuckhead commented saying, "Nor did Casca." And of course there's idiots who say Griffith did nothing wrong, which is like, did you read the manga? I don't care if the whole point of Berserk is fate. There is no excuse for forgiving or allowing what he did. Griffith is a heinous and disgusting individual. He always wanted to take advantage of Casca, both in the Eclipse way and generally. He never cared about anyone in his band. He only wanted them as tools to achieve his dream. But anyway, after the Lost Children arc, I think the sexual violence just gets too unbearable. It feels forced, and I criticize Miura for it. I even kind of critique it in the Eclipse. It feels like the act that Griffith does only happens to boost Guts. It's almost like he uses Casca and puts her through something so disgusting just to fuel Guts. Which can be chalked up to him being the main character and whatnot, but I don't know. The final verdict with this is just keep in mind that Berserk has very graphic depictions of sexual violence, and I highly recommend that if it triggers you, you should either be cautious or sit this one out. That was rough. Guts has a nickname, which is the Struggler. Now, this sums up Berserk pretty well. Berserk is a challenge. It's challenging you to struggle with Guts reading it. Recommending Berserk to someone isn't as simple as reading a really cool and edgy dark fantasy manga, but it's challenging the person if they can suffer through it. And the worst part is, it's not even finished, so you don't get a happy ending. Fuck you. Berserk's world is gritty, unapologetic, dark, twisted, and horrific. But there's brief moments where it is beautiful, and the art style is perfect. Every page feels like an art piece that deserves to be hung up. And it's in those happy moments I find myself enjoying it the most. Like with Puck. Puck literally even says that the story would be too dark without him. I think of Berserk like a Dark Souls boss. When you get through all of the shit, when you get through the bed of chaos, you feel so rewarded and happy. You get that sweet sense of relief. And you even get to feel a bit like the characters in the manga. You're relieved everything went well for once with them. Yes, it's a challenge. Yes, it will hurt you. Yes, it might make you cry. But if you push forward and you walk through, there is light at the end of the tunnel. To recommend Berserk to someone is a tall task. If you're anything like me, as soon as you get interested in a game, manga, anime, show, movie, anything, you recommend it to as many people as you can. Not your fault. You just want to share this thing with as many people as you can so you can discuss it, or maybe you want them to get into it and get the same amount of enjoyment out of it as you do. But Berserk is different. Berserk is a challenge. It's telling the reader to suffer with it, and the content in Berserk can be extremely triggering for those who aren't prepared, so be careful. When I'm talking about Berserk and someone says, should I read it, I normally say something like, it's good and it changed my life, but if you have triggers, I'd probably stay away from it for now. Anyway, that's all for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you like. It'd mean a lot. But other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you later. Hopefully with Angel.